Yo, YouTube, what's good? We in here tonight, man. Everything gray. I don't know, I'm catching a vibe, man. Catching nothing but good vibrations. We in Q4. Almost over with October, man. Almost over with October. So I want to come on here real quick and let y'all know something, man, and talk to y'all about something. If y'all see the title, y'all already know what this is about. But this is very important to me, man. I guess it's kind of like your top of the dome topic because I'm lighting the Palo so y'all know how I am. I think my goal is to make it always a tradition to, especially if I'm like in a studio, at home, in one of those environments. If I get the opportunity to light the Palo Santo, I will. But like, this is very important to me because we struggle so much with our life's journey. And what I mean by our life's journey as in the road that we are on when we're living our life and what happens during that time. So like what happens on that road, the past, the present, and the future. We struggle with just that whole journey itself. And I think the older you get, you don't struggle less. You just know how to live and react to certain situations because there's not too many that you haven't been through. So the title of this video is very important with me because I think this is something that a lot of people struggle with along with myself, and how I've had to definitely concentrate on making sure that I didn't fall victim to this because of, as y'all see in the title, what it is. And the importance of knowing that you getting to a destination and accomplishing whatever your goal is so much more important than who is going to be there with you at the finish line. And it's important to realize that that thought is holding you back. It's not like why worrying about who will grow with you or caring about who will grow with you will hold you, is holding you back because they're physically holding you back. Now, that doesn't dismiss the fact that there could be some people in your life that you need to let go of that is hurting your growth because of the interactions that you have and the type of relationship that you have with them, whether they are not serving you, whether they're not aligned with who you are now and where you want to be and who you want to become, or whether they are just outright toxic and not good for you. And if that's the case, you have to figure out why you're still connecting with them, because vibrational matching shows that if you are with somebody, there's still one common denominator amongst both of you that keeps you going back to that type of person. It might be a different face, but it's still the same energy. So for myself, I've had to take a self-analysis in the past to figure out like, okay, what is it in me that still makes me attract these type of people? Even when it come to women, I will keep attracting the same type of woman. Like one I have less than the last one, and I'll show that I was growing, but it's still little traits that I see in women that all of them had, even if they didn't have the trait that the previous one had, and let's just say, quote unquote, better than the last one. And I really can just say it's different. Only our choices make us better, in my opinion, make us special. But it was still like a trait that was still there. So instead of being like, oh man, it's them, I had to start realizing that it was like, it's not them. What am I doing to attract that type of energy? So I think that's really important. If you go back and do a self-analysis, see if this person is no longer serving you, see if you align with these people, to see if the thing that has you connected with them, something that's still in you, which is the common denominator amongst all of those people or all parties involved, and if that's something that you still need to get rid of. And you probably will never not have this person out of your life until you get rid of this within yourself, and then you will grow. And that's the part that's holding you back. But I'm not addressing that. I'm more or less addressing the part of you caring so much about who's at the finish line with you. Like, man, okay, I want to go to California or I want to go to another state and I want to start this business and meet these other people. And I have this vision of these things happening and being done. But I want my cousin or my mom or I want my immediate family to be there with me. And it's like, that there may be holding you back, one. And I'm gonna give y'all 3 points because I'm sure I could come up with 3 because I've thought about 3 in the past in my life. The first point is God gave that vision to you. God gave other people similar visions and gave them similar tasks and talents like yours, but that specific thing is made for you. So a lot of people and most people will not understand what you're doing. That is the first thing. That thing was designed for you. So since it was designed for you, it's important for you to understand that, hey, I hope that they're with me. I hope these people can be there when I get to the end of the line. But if they're not, that's okay, because this vision was meant for me and it was made specifically for me. God, source, universe, whatever you call it, whatever you want to reference, whatever word you want to use to reference, higher power, gave that to you, gave that to me. He gave it to us as individuals. So most likely people won't see that, and especially most likely people within your family, and especially not to go too deep into culture, especially depending on what type of culture you have. We can easily go and say there's a lot of different cultures where people are doing things that are similar to what those people that came before them were doing, because the fact that they were taught that way and the knowledge and the culture was passed on through generations. So you have a higher chance of someone in your family understanding why you're doing what you're doing, because you're doing something similar to what they did. And depending on who they are, there's several different things they can be doing that gives you more options to say, hey, I did this, I did that, I did this. And hey, my aunt, uncle, or cousin, or grandma, or, parents, they did this as well. So they can relate. But even then, it's still your vision and your journey. So most likely the whole taking people to a destination, wanting them to see your vision, is going to be pulling teeth for the most part. So that's the first thing. That vision was given to you. The second thing that I realized was that if this is something that most people aren't seeing beyond the fact that it's your vision and it's given to you as an individual, and this is something that is like, let's say, above the current, not even status quo, but above the norm of the people that are around you, and it's something of a higher cost and something that requires you yourself personally to raise your vibration and raising your enlightenment and your level of consciousness, and let's just flat out say raise your fucking intellect. If it just requires you to become smarter, and that's not within the norm of your friends, your friend group, social group, or your family, you're gonna find friction there as well, because most people don't change, and most people don't want to go after the hard things, and most people don't want to take the high road. So there's another reason why, if you're waiting to see who's gonna come along with you, or you have all these people in mind that you want to be there with you or at the end, and that's kind of like why you're going a little bit slower after your goals, and you're just kind of stuck in a back and forth, like trying to convince people or bring people on board. And it's like, one, it's not your vision. Two, if it's something that's a lot higher than them, and not saying better than them, but outright, if it's a better choice, fuck it, it's better than them. And if it's a lot better than them and a higher choice, then it's gonna be hard for them to change, especially depending on what age they are, because one, most people don't change. And two, if you don't catch doing the right thing and raising the higher vibration and taking a higher road early on, and you're building momentum, it's a lot harder. And old habits die hard, but also things that are hard to do are even harder to do when you wait longer to start doing them. So that's the second thing. The vision's yours. Depending on what this thing that you are trying to do and this destination is trying to do, depending on the level of spiritual difficulty or the level of comfort that is being sacrificed for this thing, you won't have as much people wanting to adopt it or come along with you or be there for you or be there with you. And I would say lastly, what could truly be holding you back is the third thing, and when it's like, and that's why I told you I was gonna have three, because I think about this often. The third thing is you're trying to invite people to a fucking party that doesn't exist. And that's the thing that I had to get in my mind. It's like, I'm worried about like bringing homies and making sure homies are there, or like for the longest, like I was thinking in my mind, like this idol ideal idea of like what this girl would look like, who I would be with. You know, I went through this whole thing with my kid's mom, and I would never discredit her. You know, I'm pretty much raising my kids on my own now. She does what she does when she wants and when it's convenient, and I'll leave it at that. But there was a point in time to where we were together, and I'll give her credit. I'll never take it from her. She was a down-ass broad. She was a down-ass woman for the level of being able to engage an entrepreneur man like me throughout my whole life and be able to be there. And, you know, lo and behold, as time passed, all the things I said that would come true have come true for the most part up until this point. The place I said I would live, I'm living. The job and the money I said I would be making, I'm making. So it's just, I'll give her the credit and the energy that she had when she was there. But even then, I had this vision of like, oh man, which one of these, what's the ideal woman, or what this person's gonna look like, who's gonna grow with me and get to this level of this vision that I got in my head that God gave me, which is mine, which is like Leslie, that somebody's gonna come along with me and understand it. And also the level of a role that you have to take to be able to understand this and want to be along this journey as well. And then the part about like not even having it complete. You know, it's like you want to invite people to a party and you haven't made the invitations. You don't know where it's at. You haven't got the cooler with the ice and the drinks and the paper plates and the plastic silverware and all of the, you know, bells and whistles and the, you know, even if you're just having a regular kickback, you gotta have something like for the people who smoke and drink. You ain't even got the backwoods and the side. You feel me? Like, dang. So that's the part that really got me like lit, to be like, you know what? Like, I can't live my life trying to figure out which one of my homies or who's gonna be on board for this thing yet, and I haven't even brought nothing to fruition yet that I say is a solid stamp. And like off of my own mind first. Like, first of all, this wasn't even given to them in their vision. And then secondly, this is something that's probably out of their comfort zone. And then lastly, how can I even expect people to have a level of confidence for the unknown when this is in my vision and I'm taking all the risks? That's why I'm the type of person that whenever I create all of my big companies and they become big, I would never expect people to have as much passion about the company as me. Like, managers and owners who expect people to have a passion for that business as much as them are fucking delusional. And the person who I think said that, who I really, really admire, is Layla Hermosi. I think Layla Hermosi said that. Shouts out to them. Hopefully one day they'll be able to hear this. But Alex and Layla Hermosi are fucking goals. I love y'all both. But I think Layla Hermosi said that. And I think Gary Vee said that too. Shouts out to them. All just people who changed my life, man, who I really respect. Can't wait to meet. But yeah, so it's like you trying to be able to build this vision, this goal. You're trying to build this thing, whatever it is in your mind. You know, you've seen other people do it. We live in a world where this process has happened. There's a road, there's a journey, there's a beginning, there's a middle, and there's an ongoing. It's not an over yet because a lot of people are still alive, but it's an ongoing thing. And a lot of people were alone. A lot of people tried to, like, I think Bill Gates went to like 13 people. Don't quote me. But Bill Gates went to like 13 people about Microsoft when he first came up with it. And I think only one person wanted to invest and get down with him. Don't take my words. I may be way off, but it's something like that. So moral of the story, do not let people, or do not hold yourself back, because they're not doing anything. They're playing their role. I just posted it today on Instagram, my Instagram stories. I said, and my Instagram handle is the same as YouTube, Words by Waters. I'm not on there as much. Like I said, I'm trying to build a whole new community with YouTube. I've neglected YouTube, and I should have, so apologies, YouTube. But I said today, I was like, yo, don't be upset with people and they're playing their role. Like, a liar's a liar, a person who's deceitful person, a person who's honest, they're an honest person. Like, take people at face value and let that be their role and let that be them. So like, anybody who's doing anything in their life, they're not holding you back. You are allowing yourself to be held back because you think that these are the people that needs to be along this journey with you, or you feel that you want these people to be in the end with you. Like, I got myself, and I think it was really probably just the last engagement that I had with a female really just got me solidified on just like really, because I'm the type of person, y'all, when I'm like engaged in a friendship, whether it's just friendship and it's platonic, or whether it's just a friendship and we really don't have a title and we just, you know, kicking it, enjoying each other's company's energy, or whether it's a real committed relationship, I pour into it. Like, I'm a person pouring into it. So I feel like this last engagement really got me to understand to be more like, people will do what they feel is best for them when they feel that it's best for them to do it. And that's all you need to leave them with. And if you are in your life and you have a vision and you want to do something and you feel like you're in this point in your life, don't worry about any fucking body who's gonna be there. Let those people present themselves to you. And if they want to buy a ticket to the show and they want to come into the show and enter in the show, and if they want to be a part of the show, then let them do that and give them a space to do that, and set boundaries for them to do these things and say, hey, I will give you this much space to do this in my life. How do you feel about it? Blah, 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 blah. Have a conversation, communicate. And if it aligns, it aligns. If not, then just picture yourself being at the journey alone and in the journey at the end alone. Because at the end of the day, you won't be. So don't try to like have this list of like, I want this cousin, I want to try to go talk to this friend, I just love for my mom to be there cheering me on at the end. Like, that's okay if that happens. That's actually better than okay. If that's what you desire and that's what your heart truly desires, then that's actually great. But don't set yourself up to say that you will not fucking put your foot down, pedal to the metal, foot through the motherfucking floorboard, just to be able to stay focused on this journey and go on this road in this tunnel vision of this destination that does require some looking to the side and detouring, because that's just life. But don't set yourself up to be waiting for people to present themselves to be a part of your life, because at the end of the day, if you like me, you're not waiting for nobody. I never waited for nobody. I just wanted to be able to have certain people in my life to be able to say, hey, you know what, it'd be great if you come along. Because I've had plenty of females in the past where I'm woody doing my thing, and then girls will come along and want to have a conversation and get close, and it's all, you know how it starts. It always starts off like it's not really no vibes, not really caring, and then you know how humans are. I'm a dude, I'm an honest man, I'm one of the men who would never act like I don't know how to have like a real good relationship with my emotions and the romanticism that lives within me. And you know how people get in the beginning, it's all like you don't really vibe, and then you start getting with somebody and chilling with them, and sexual energy comes across, and then now y'all, you know, stuck in the bed forever. So like, I've never been a dude to not understand that that's a part of who I am and express myself in that manner. And I connect with females and they'll want to get on the train. I'm just going. I'm like, I've always been super driven. So it's not a fact of just stopping your life for anyone, but it's the fact of you not being sold on a blueprint, or you not being sold on an outcome of who these people will be. And if you're not seeing that outcome, like transitioning to that result, you're halting and being like, oh man, I'm not going where I want to go. Will these people be there? Man, your mind just picture that they won't. You know what I'm saying? Straight up, just in your mind, picture that these people will not be there, and you will still have to move on. Whether it's your kids, your mama might pass away, your daddy might pass away, one of your kids might get sick and die. Like, all those things are fucking sad, and I don't wish that upon anybody. But if you are in your heart and you know that this is what you was fucking born for, and you know this is you are convinced. Because you know what? I'm gonna tell you this. Most people spend majority of their life not knowing what that is. And then there's other people who spend majority of their life figuring it out, and then living it. And then there's people who spend majority of their life thinking that they're trying to figure it out. In reality, never really did what it takes to figure out, but there was some effort to do it, and they never figure it out. It's dudes who living, thank God they was able to have a great relationship and kind of living their dreams through their daughter, he ended up having 2-3 girls, and now all his girls play sports because he couldn't go to the football league or something like that. But it's like he got a part of it, so those are the levels of people. So if you somebody who is fucking sold, y'all, on what you are born to do, what you want to do, you put in your work, you understand everything that comes along with it, and the part that comes with the planning that doesn't work, because that is a big part, and the fact that you're not willing to sacrifice and compromise this for anything, and you're willing to be able to sacrifice what doesn't serve you in this plan, then do what the fuck you gotta do and picture as if nobody was there with you. and love along the way, give along the way, set boundaries along the way, but make sure that at the end of the day, you are sold on the fact that if these people aren't coming along with me, it will not stop me from continuing along this path of my purpose and what I was meant to do. So I hope this helps everyone. I hope everyone can resonate with this in some form or fashion. If not, please let me know what's going on in the comments. Please like, subscribe, follow, share. I say share, not for the sake of the algorithm. I say that too. You know what I'm saying? No kizzy. But mostly because I think people need to hear this. You know, and I want people to become more enlightened. My goal is, I've read this book and I love it. It's if you haven't read it, then please read it. That's what I'll probably do next. Because I was gonna do this book right here, but I was waiting because I was gonna do this book here, Money, because I was like, let me read this over before I do it, Books for Better Living. Because I can talk about this book, but this book is so good, it has so much in it. I just want to be fresh with what I talk about. But now that I'm here now and I thought about it, I'm gonna do Key Person of Influence, and then I'll do a Books for Better Living for that. I don't know, I'll go back and forth. I may do it, but I haven't had that one long enough to see the effects of my life, and I like everything to be thorough. So like I said, never mind, scratch that. I need to let that marinate in. You know what I'm saying? I need to let that book marinate in. I just got it, but I heard in that book, he was saying about your pitch. You know, there's different things that help a person become a key person of influence. You have to have publishing, your pitch, and different little things that, you know, can help. And he was saying your pitch and your big game and your one sentence statement of what it would be. And my one sentence statement in my pitch is to be able to help and aid people on being the first person in their family to set their financial compass in the right direction. So my goal is to help people be that first person in their family to set their financial compass in the right direction. And everything that I talk about, underlined, it's spirituality and it's freedom and financial freedom. So when you hear me say freedom, I'm talking about money. And when you hear me say finance and money, I'm talking about freedom, which is spirituality and the connection between the two. So that's really the main reason why I want people to share this and hear this, because that's my goal, you know. And I think if we all had that goal to help free each other, then imagine what world we would live in. And I'm truly so realistic that I think there will never be a such thing as a perfect world, because it's been black and white, God and the devil since the beginning. That's just the name of the story. But, you know, you got to choose which side you're on. So like, subscribe, share, follow. I love y'all. And remember to stay well, be conscious, and write your world into existence. Love.